In 2022, there was a rain bomb, and we'd had a build-up of a lot of rain. We slowly watched the water come up closer and closer to our home. It was about 9 o'clock at night, and we got to about that far from the water coming into our home that we decided that we would leave. So it wasn't until the next day when we came back that there was evidence that water had come inside. So yeah, we flooded.
There was quite a bit of damage, even though it was only came in probably 150 mil. They came in and basically gutted all the walls and everything from about halfway up the walls down, ripped out all the floor, and we started the process of cleaning, which took a couple of months. We had blowers in there for a couple of months, and we're actually displaced out of our home for a year over the whole process.
The major works was to lift our home. So we explored the Resilient Fund and had the assessment. The team came out and we were then advised that we were eligible to lift. So we went through that process of finding a builder and then applying to the fund for having our home raised.
We only lifted 1.5 metres above the flood levels that the Brisbane City Council set. We didn't want to raise the house right up high in the sky due to just the aesthetics that we wanted, because it was more a cottage style house. We wouldn't have been able to build underneath anyway due to the flooding.
With the recent ex-tropical cyclone event, the water did come up quite quickly. So I remember standing on the deck and looking at the water rising and saying to you, have we raised high enough? Because I think there was probably just that anxiety from past events and second guessing yourself, but we were relieved to know that it just stopped where it did.
And with the rain, we also had the really high tides, and we were well aware that it was going to come into our yard again. A lot less anxiety, a lot less stress this time round. I'd previously fixed up shelving in my shed and lifted power points up above the flood level, so that was just a matter of lifting a few things up off the ground. It's a steel frame shed, so it's basically just a gurney out. Yeah, so it was a lot better this time around after learning from the previous floods. Well, we get our 100-year events every 3 years now, so I think we're pretty prepared for the next 4 or 5 of them. Like, obviously we'll get water in, but it comes up and it goes away just as quick. So I don't think we need to worry too much more about anything really now that we're up in the air. So
yeah,
it's just relieved a lot of that stressful side of it.
Yep. Just making sure I remember that there's somewhere for the dog to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be okay. Tomorrow is the first day of our